Well, this is my third attempt at trying to do this YouTube video. I just finished doing it and I found out my camera shut off. So I'm gonna have to handhold this to try to make this presentation for the third time. My name is Don Taylor. I've been off YouTube for almost a full year, and the Lord put it in my spirit uh, for the month of January and part of February to be a time of disclosure where a lot of the work that I have on the computer I'm going to make accessible to you people out there. So this information that I'm bringing to you are the technologies that go together to build these end time refuge camps that we're going to have to start these within the next 90 days, right? So I'm just getting the concept out to you. So the concept for these camps uh, are the geometric layout, right? Way that the using the isometric geometric constructs to build the camps. The camps are not built on the square; they're built on the hexagon and triangle. And so each camp would be composed of an acre plus for about. I think it's going to each camp that I worked out on using this new design is going to be about 3.5 acres. That would give you a camp to where that. So the camp is actually your hexagonal camp. You would have 6 arrangements, in the outer corners for a micro camp. So you'd have 6 micro camps built around a larger construct, right? So each micro camp would be composed of a hexagonal centerpiece and of a split trailer design that would be good for a family of 5. So instead of, you could use this for RVs, you could use this for trailers and things and all like this. But for long term, you want to build a construct, a unit that's going to be able to handle the earthquake activity that's coming up. You want to build something that's military grade, that's expandable, that can be collapsed. These buildings use a hexagonal arrangement with point up and point down. The unit is actually carried in a customized type of boat frame, right? And so if you go 10 feet point to point, that gives you 10 times 12, 120 inches, which is still, it's going to work. You're not over height. So if you take your 120 inches and you multiply that by 0.866025, that's the magical number that works. You get an overall outside width of 8.66 feet and an inside measurement of around 8 foot. So you would actually have an RV with a full 8-foot width, which is like a standard trailer, but just the construction is far superior, right? The construction is made to withstand the climate chaos that we're going into. And someone threw a bottle of gasoline on the outside, which is going to, the metal's going to be able to handle it. So it's going to have to be set up for something like that, right? So basically, you got a split unit design. On this one here, the size would be 5 feet. So that would give you multiply that by 2, and that would give you 120 feet height from the top to the bottom. But you could take off the bottom triangle, to just to lower your overall height. Then you would have to custom engineer your steel framework to where all this would fit in, right? And so the engineers they I'm going to leave it up to them to do it. I can do out the basic geometry. Then the engineers can put the plans together. So this kind of geometric setup will allow to mass produce these units. So you would have a split RV unit that would go together for transport, and that would separate for a permanent setup to where this would give you center access, right? And you would have hydraulic system that would come down to level everything, and the hydraulic systems are designed with the coil spring and hydraulic shock system in it. So if there isn't any kind of earthquake activity, that the hydraulic legs are going to compensate. It's all built in, and if you don't have it, your building's going to tear apart. And so these units are designed to plug in. So the center would have your main access, where you could actually have your you can set up your wood stove heat, right? Your utilities would be in the center, and so the back 16 foot could be for a sleeper unit. The front 16 feet could be for to balance out your RV. So your RV's still set up for light housekeeping, but your main cooking and all that will be in your center cabin. So you'd have 6 of these units. When fully expanded, be roughly 40 foot. We'd have an RV that would be 40 foot, 8 foot 6 wide, 8 foot on the inside, with lots of headroom. Right, you're not going to be tight. You can even go to a 12 feet point to point, which would be a wide unit, and this would also work for a wide transport. So they're scalable. So you can make it so that your roof is where you got your skylight, your light coming in, right? And the bottom part could be designed with an alleyway or below deck access hatch. So your framework that holds the main construct is going to house the unit, right? So you can fabricate the unit out of 2x4 or 2x6 framework, and you just have to make the bolt housing. So in the housing itself, you would incorporate your tandem sets in it, right, into the framework. So you won't need an axle that goes across. Your framework would become the axle, right? But you could custom design your black water, gray water, and water tanks within the framework to where you have access, along with your different power systems and things like that. So you're actually designed to be off grid. And most of the trailers that you buy today, they work good, but you're going to pay $100,000 for them or more, for something that's going to be 4 season, that kind of setup. And so these going to be custom designed to be able to fit the profile to where they could actually plug in to a center cabin. So your center cabin would be, this could be set up as a portable system or a permanent camp, either or, right? So they were going to work for both. So if you're set up for a mobile system, that your center cabin, that the main floor would be on the same level, right? So you're plugged into the outer deck, where you walk into have access to the outer deck, and you have access to the main floor, which would be your cooking and your restaurant area, where people could come. You could have families could come and cook their own meals, or you could actually have it to where everybody would come for a common meal, maybe once a day. So each trailer would accommodate 5 people, maybe 5 to 7 people, just saying 5 people. So that'd be an overall 30 people on your periphery, and your center cabin would have an upper loft area. That would be the family quarters for the ones that are responsible to looking after the complex, right? And in order for that to, so overall, right from the center to the outside of your cabin, approximately 16 foot. Then you add another 40 foot for your split cabin design, trailer design. So that's 40, 56 feet. I'm going to allow 72 foot on the 72 foot. That would make up your main plot, your main hexagonal plot. And so if you take 72 times 72 times 3, that's going to give you approximately 15,152 square foot on your hexagonal plot. That's going to be the area where this camp's going to fit. And so the next arrangement would be to put that into a bigger camp. So you would take 72 foot, you multiply that by 3 to get 216. So that would become the side length of your main camp. So you take 216 times 216 times 3. Now it give you about 3.5 acres. So on this 3.5 acres, in your outer periphery, you would have 6 camps of approximately 24 to 36 people each, right? So you have 36 times 6. You want to try to keep it around 144 people for 6 camps on 3.5 acres. And so the next arrangement on that, where you take the 3.5 acres and you start to use that to form your ARCSHIP facilities. So your ARCSHIP facilities is made up of 3 of these 3.5 acres that are stackable, and where you take that and you form out the wings, that gives you the shape of the ARCSHIP. So if your primary hexagonal camp is 3.5 acres, you basically multiply that by 5 to give your overall ARCSHIP area of around 18 acres. And so depending on your 6 micro camp arrangements, you can make them smaller, you can make them bigger, and it allows you to expand your ARCSHIP. In this case, you would have 36 times 6, times that by 2, right? So you would have 144 people per end. And then in the center, hexagonal 3.5 acre arrangement, you'd use a different construct where this would be a place where the people would gather on both camps, right? And so the best solution for the center construction would be to use a 3D printer to print off a geodesic dome, maybe a high frequency dome, to print off the panels, right? Where you could actually make an 80 foot dome about 4 stories tall. So you could have all your panels with your light access coming in. And you could design it where you could 3D print it and snap lock it together. And then on the outside, you could actually use put a layer of aircrete on the outside, then a layer of super reinforced concrete, and that would give you added protection and insulation, right? So that forms your dome. Then and for you can have about a 40 foot height, and so you would do your use your relocation platform technology to build the interior layers of the dome that would become the living facilities of the camp, right? So your bottom dome would be your main gathering point. You would have center access going up, and also secondary accesses, and that would probably give you a dozen apartment complexes on the second floor, and the third floor could be like an atrium setup, and so that would give you another, I don't know, 144 people in the center. So you could actually have an ARCSHIP of 18 acres of 144 times 3. A camp of 2, 3, 400 people, maybe 500 people to an 18 acres. And all this can be worked out mathematically. So if you have an 18-acre ARCSHIP, each of the micro camps might be specific for so each ARCSHIP would be specific as far as raising chickens or turkeys. All right, you'd work that into the format. Others might be responsible for making furniture. Others might be responsible for growing hydroponics, and that's where your diversification, where you can take your ARCSHIPs, your 18-acre plots, and put them together in mathematical units to form a larger camp. And I forget the magic number on this, but if each ARCSHIP is 18, you multiply that by 12, so you're going to get about 144-acre plot, or try to shoot for that. And so you would have an arrangement of, I don't know, say if each ARCSHIP would handle 250 to 300 people, you multiply that by 7. So you could have arrangement of 144 acres that could accommodate a couple thousand people. And it's a fully diversified system. Each ARCSHIP is independent, and yet all ARCSHIPs, they work together to support one another. And this could be fabricated very, very quick. So I'm just going to turn the camera around to give you an overview. And so you can take what I've said and just try to envision this in your mind. And I'm going to get this uploaded tonight as my first official upload to YouTube after being vacant for about a year. So these camps need to be replicated in quick time here. I don't know if I can turn this stupid thing around. It's not allowing me. I just don't like this camera setup. I'm seeing that thing, but it won't let me turn it around. Like, that's kind of BS. It's been giving me problems ever since I tried to do this video presentation. So what I'm going to do is just going to turn the camera around. I can't turn this around manually. It won't allow me. So hopefully you'll be able to get a visual of this. I will do a presentation. I'll make a hard drawing of this, right? I'll do up the different aspects. You will not allow me to flip this around. So what I'm going to have to do is try to take a picture of this and upload it to the video. All right. So this will be my first upload to YouTube for the month of January for disclosure, so that this disclosure project that I'm working on is going to go together and bring the 3 basic technologies together to enable to where these split trailer units can be built, that the center cabins can be built. And so I need someone, for the Lord to send someone my way to take the. I can do this up in GIMP, so you could actually take the two-dimensional layout and put it together into a three-dimensional virtual reality, to where this can be put together to create a 3D image. Then take it to the next step, to where you could actually put it together into a live virtual walkthrough. And so people will get an idea, right? And so this split trailer concept, the Lord gave me this today. It was kind of in the back of my mind for a while. As I was saying before, that these hexagonal trailer units, the Lord gave me this concept back in the summer of 2009 in Mission. So I've got all this stuff drawn out, which will be part of the disclosure. So what makes these end time camps, mobile camps, doable is the split trailer arrangement. It's going to be far superior to the teeny tiny homes, and it will give families access to a trailer that's going to be designed to make it through the climate chaos that we're coming into. And like the way that they should design an RV park, that every RV park, they should have the trailers designed with a center access where people can come together to cook their meals, to clean up and things like that. It just makes life a lot easier, you know what I mean? And so this concept could be used to form a camp. And a camp like this, you would have, once you're all broken down, you would have about seven trailers. Even your center unit can be designed to fold up and to fold down, where you could actually pull it with a transport, right? Your slide out units, you could probably use a 3/4 ton or 1 ton truck to pull them, but your center one can be designed. I've already designed this. So that to be a mobile setup, so I'll probably go with that design. But these mobile camps can be mobile, or they could be retrofitted to where you can send camps ahead to do the groundwork. And the time is coming on the permanent camps. And permanent camps will need an underground network, and with with surface networks on the top. So you basically, what you see on the top, you would have an underground access, from the micro camps. You have access to the camps in the center. So you actually can move people around without having to go on the outside. You see what I'm saying? So these camps would be outfitted with the Joe Pipe technology. The Joe Pipe technology has the potential to convert normal fuels like diesel and gasoline to where you can actually use a quantum leap technology to convert our third state matter into fourth state matter, into plasma, by manipulating the electron valence of the matter itself. And that can be done through centrifugal action. You manipulate the circuit where you convert a linear flame into a centrifugal compression vortex, or a what do you call it? Into a gravity well, right? Into like a dark hole. I've done this for 4 years. I know it works. And when the Lord gave me the vision, the dream for the Joe Pipe technology in the early spring of 2004, 7 days later, the Lord came to me and spoke over my shoulder in a second dream, and he spoke in an audible voice, and he said that the perfection of the fuel will lead to the discovery of unlimited heat. Or I'm talking about heat in the plasma range of of tens of thousands of degrees, right? And he said that this would become the number one discovery of the 21st century, and that this technology would be used to heat and power the places of refuge. So the Joe pipe technology, that would be perfected. This is part of the disclosure. So what I have uploaded to my computer, I got it backed up, that I'm allowing you guys access. This is the disclosure. Then sometime in February, I'll start on to finalize the plans for the Joe pipe technology, to put the actual newsletter arrangements together. So the Joe pipe technology, along with the isometric geometric format, which is the geometric survey, to develop that, and the ARCSHIP technology and the relocation technology, those will go together to form the ARCSHIP manual, so that these camps can start to be built, so people who are trapped in the cities will have a place to go to when the shit hits the fan. That's what it's all about. And so as this is a time, we're coming into the time of the 3 days of darkness, people. It's going to happen this year. When this happens, there's going to be a fulfillment of Psalms 110, of Psalms 91, where the sons of God, with this army of God that God's been preparing, that they're going to be illuminated and sent out to carry out the work of the Father's plans for each one of them. And if you stay in the cities, you will become trapped in destruction. You will come under the mandate of the Antichrist rule. So God's separating his end time remnant bride, right, to be relocated into these places of refuge. And this is where the bride will come together along with the man-child, according to Revelations 12, where the man-child will feed the bride the hidden manna to bring her into a place of being changed into the image and likeness of the Son of God, right? If Jesus was the branch, now we are to become the branch that he's going to hold in his hand. As Jesus is, so we shall become on this side of the veil. There's going to be a people who shall come together into the rest of God, where they shall be changed from glory to glory as they press into the rest, where we are going to experience what it's going to be like for these mortal bodies to put on immortality, to come to the place of full transformation, where we're going to be walking as Jesus after that he was resurrected from the grave. That's the same process that the rest is going to bring us into, where God's going to prepare a people to rise and shine and to possess the kingdom of God, that they may be prepared to rule and reign with him for 1,000 years. And that's what these camps are for, you know. And this is it, people. We're there. You know, the Lord started me early in the summer of 1987, when I was in Bangs, Texas, where I came to sit under the mantle of David Terrell, God's prophet to the world. It was there that I heard his visions that the Lord gave him concerning the blessed areas that's going to be built in America. And that's where the Lord put it in my heart to begin to design the engineering to build the places of refuge. And down through the years, I've been faithful to it. But now we're coming into the time where we're all, what the Lord has given me over the years, it needs to come together to where these camps can be built in real time. And the transfer of wealth that's coming is going to be used to build these camps, so that God's people, that the righteous of the Lord will have places where they can come to. People that are trapped in the system will have places to flee to, right? Where God's going to provide a dome of protection over his people. The enemy will not be able to penetrate. Even if you drop a weapon of mass destruction over these domes of light, it will not penetrate. It will destroy everything outside the domes. But inside the domes, we're going to have God's divine protection and also his provision. But what you need to do, that our responsibility is to build these camps so people will have a place to come and to partake of, right? So I'm going to end it here and get this uploaded to YouTube, and I'll see what I can do to take a picture of this to tag it to this video. So this is the first 30-minute presentation. So when I start doing the actual podcast to get this information out, it's going to be between 30 to 45 minutes. I think I might keep them around 30 minutes. That takes me, that's so I can do two per day, right? So I could do one on the drill pipe technology. I could do one on these camps, one on the ARCSHIPs. It's going to take about 6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks, to get their information, the pictures and the videos and the different presentations that I have saved on file, to get it out to you people. And so, Jenny, this is for your people, for those that are part of the Goshen camps that you set up, that the leadership there, they need to upgrade their YouTube account so they can actually download these podcasts to their computer, that this information can be made accessible to the people. You know, I can get it out there, but you guys are going to have to help me, right? You can't just, I don't want this to become a burden to me. My emphasis is to press into the kingdom, to seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, to spend time in the Lord, to press into his rest and quietness. Then out from that this ministry, that this blessing can flow to you people out there. Go ahead and end it here. And this is Don Taylor signing off from my little place in Boston Bar, British Columbia. My email address is remnantprepper@gmail.com. 2 words, remnantprepper@gmail. And my phone number and all that, I believe I have it uploaded to, it's on file. And this is it, people. We're at that time that these camps need to be built, and it needs to be done in quick time. Because, from what that one sister released this morning, that the hammer of God is going to be released on America, right? These kinetic weapons that have the destructive power of nuclear weapons. We're going to see war break out in America. We need to prepare for it. The systems systematically being dismantled to be taken over by the beast kingdom. And we need to separate from this matrix that they're trying to pull everybody into. If you stay in the cities, you will be forced to take the mark of the beast. That we need to come together as a people of the Most High God to begin to establish these sovereign camps. Go ahead and here. God bless you all.